Hello everyone and welcome to this last episode of the SNES Geek Show of 2020. So last year I made a Christmas related episode, and why not do a Christmas related another one when it's Christmas. Also, this is also like a mini anniversary since I made a Christmas like gaming video, game review video back in 2015, 5 years ago. So this is the season of forgiving. You're traveling to your family, to meet your friends, your family, and everything in between there. And video games is something that has become associated with traveling. Now, of course, we have the Nintendo Switch. We have the pretty much handheld home console experiences. However, in this video, I'm gonna be talking about the PlayStation 2, which is this bastard right here. I don't know if you can see it, but regardless, I'm gonna show you 3 games which you should consider playing during the holiday season. So let's do this! So in Resident Evil 4, you play as Leon, the main character of the entire franchise. Now, he's on a mission to go rescue a very important person. Who that person is, well, you guys have to play the game to find out. Okay, so Resident Evil 4 is a third-person shooter. And unlike the other games, this takes more of an action game rather than a straight-up horror game. There are horror elements every once in a while, but it's mostly based around shooting. So you have the over-shoulder perspective, which means that the camera is slightly angled above the player's shoulder. And you have to kill a lot of people. You have to shoot them, you have to aim and then press the X button to shoot. You are exploring a very old village that is located somewhere in Europe, probably Spain. And those who live there, they're not very nice. First off, they can't speak English, none of them. And secondly, they attack you upon you seeing them for the first time. Now, they could be because a part of the story is like consequences of something big. However, I don't really understand. If it's based around the fact that they think that you are a zombie, it doesn't really make much sense because, well, you are clearly not. But yeah, I don't know. Essentially, you're being chased throughout the entire game by people, by chainsaws, by pitchforks, by essentially just any sort of older weapon. And the only thing that you got to defend yourself is a handgun. But of course, you pick up greater guns, like for instance, a shotgun early on, and you have to pick up ammo as well. Yes, this game does not feature any unlimited ammo. You can run out of bullets, and when you do, you have to quickly find some more ammo, otherwise you're screwed. Well, that could happen, but somehow when I did when I captured the footage for this game, I was somehow not getting hurt. Well, I clearly would. Yes, Resident Evil 4 was rated 16 plus at the time, and I can definitely understand why. This has actually gone down to be one of the most iconic Resident Evil games out there, and even by some people, one of the best video games of all time. Okay, so Monster Inc. Screen Team was released in 2001 alongside the Pixar movie, or at least rather close. So if you guys are a bit confused as to what language it is, I bought this game in Sweden, which means there is Swedish. Well, everything about this game aside the production is Swedish. There's Swedish voice actors, there's Swedish voice samples. Pretty much everything about this game is Swedish aside from the music and the game itself. Yeah, we don't have monsters in Swedish. Disappointment, I know. So if you played Ape Escape, then you will be familiar with Monsters Inc. So your goal in this game is to become a top scarer. Now that is a contradictory thing, especially since Monsters University is a prequel to Monsters Inc. But that makes me wonder, is this game a prequel to Monsters University, or is this like a different timeline? Well, it's not really explained, and honestly, I don't really think Pixar thought of that while making this game. So this is a game where you're running around a stage, scaring fake children. But okay, you cannot actually scare these fake children right away. The only way you can actually get them is that you walking around this somewhat limited area and collecting these cans of ooze, I guess if you want to call them something. And the more ooze you collect, the greater the colors will appear on this gauge. And for every new color that you unlock, you can scare these types of children. And for every color, it becomes more difficult to fulfill it. So during the first, like when the first canister is filled, then these children are just requiring one spam of a specific button. However, as the game progresses, you collect more ooze. All of these children's button command changes, so it's like becomes like a continuous task that you have to fulfill. Now there is no actual punishment for not succeeding in scaring these children, so you can try that as many times as possible. Yeah, it is a very kid-friendly game if you haven't noticed. So the objective in this game is to scare children and to gain medals until to become top scarers. Now throughout this game you can choose to play as either Mike or Sully. They both play the same, there isn't much difference in that, it's just a different skin. So overall, if you like Ape Escape, you should feel at home with this game. I would definitely recommend it if you want an Ape Escape type game, but I'm tired of it, and you want to try out a significantly cheaper game. So let's move on to the next one. And so the last game on this list is Soul Calibur 2. So Soul Calibur 2 is the second game in the Soul Calibur franchise. The original Soul Calibur was released in arcades and then the Sega Dreamcast. Now this game, unlike other fighting games, is a weapons-based fighting game where you will, instead of using your hands or feet, you will now, well, your knuckles, you will now be using weapons to fight your enemies. There's a wide range of characters to choose from, everything from male to female, and they all look pretty damn good. It's now not like other fighting games where there's some fan service here and there. No, these characters, they all look memorable, all look great. They look good. They don't really need any sort of cheap tactic in order to appeal to more to the target audience. This is a good-looking game that has a good-looking everything. So after you pick a character, you can then enter the arcade mode, and that is where the main course of gameplay is. So, like I said, it's a weapons-based fighting game, which means that you are in these big arenas, and you have to destroy each and every one of the opponents. Yeah, when it comes down to it, it's really hard to actually go in depth in a fighting game because fighting games are really easy to get into. Defeat your enemy 2 times and advance to the second round. All of these characters that you play as, they're actually pretty, from what I've played, they're actually pretty good characters because the weapons that you play with, not that the weakest or the strongest or anything, any weapon or any character that you play as can all be useful. It's overall just a pretty damn good game. The music is pretty good, it's pretty arcadey. The same with the graphics, they look pretty damn good for the least powerful console of this generation, the PlayStation 2, which is the one I've been using in this video. And you can even unlock a great secret character if you continue playing, which I didn't do. Well, I recommend Soul Calibur 2 to anyone who wants to play a great fighting game. So yeah, that was it. That is the last video of 2020. Now, don't be sad, I will be returning in 2021, and let's hope it becomes a much better year than what it has been. But remember that you always loved by those who does love you.